It feels good, like I knew it would. It feels good, like I knew it would. Every night and day, all the games we play, keep on doing it, doing it, doing it. It feels good. Oh, you know it feels good, feels good, feels good. Oh, you know it feels good. It feels good.
Welcome to the 2017 Audi Quattro Winter Games. It's been an exciting opening week here at the Games, with the free ski and alpine events getting the extensive competition program underway. For the athletes who have made the trip to the Southern Hemisphere, this is an opportunity to test themselves against the best in the world. But it's Aotearoa itself that makes the journey worthwhile.
So I love coming back down here to Wanaka, New Zealand every year. It's a beautiful place, great people.
That was unbelievable, going up to those bluffs, and just the view from there was absolutely magical and just so cool. You don't get to see anything like that.
One of the most beautiful spots overlooking Wanaka and the whole lake. I mean, probably one of the most beautiful sights I've ever seen. We had a fantastic kiwi lunch.
Some venison, a little bit of caramelized onions. It was great. This whole experience was something that I want my family to come and see and enjoy, and it was so much fun.
There's nothing like New Zealand, so it's absolutely phenomenal.
It's one of the tourist hotspots of the Southern Hemisphere. Come on down.
High above the Cardrona Valley is Snow Farm, host venue for the cross-country skiing events here at the Audi Quattro Winter Games. It is also home to the Audi Proving Grounds, and as part of the Winter Games experience, Audi invited some of the athletes to test their skills on snow, from behind the wheel.
Lightly brakes, brake, 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 that's it. Back on the power, nice and smooth. That's it, and brake, just turn it up. That's it, more power, more power. Keep it going, lightly on the brake. That's it, and lightly on the brake. We're well ahead, so just stop in the garage.
So talk us through that, how much fun was it?
Oh man, that's the most fun I've had in a long time, hey?
Here also for the Winter Games, you know, what's it like having an event like this in New Zealand?
I mean, it's great for all the local athletes. They get to pitch themselves against the best in the world. It's amazing seeing these guys rearing up for the Winter Olympics coming soon, and yeah, it's just an incredible event. This year we've got the North Face Frontier event, which is the freeride event. It's part of the Winter Games for the first time, and yeah, I think it brings a lot of energy and a lot of drama to the event, and I can't wait to see the boys throw down.
The course itself, tell us about that.
It's held in the Alta Chutes at Remarkables, so above Lake Alta there, so it's an amazing position for people to watch the entire event from as you come along and check it out. Steep, full of rocks and cliffs and heaps of things for guys to huck themselves off.
How important to see a new event, you know, come to the Audi Quattro Games, you know, to grow the event, but also to grow snow sports in New Zealand?
I mean, I think it's amazing having freeride in there, and it kind of legitimizes it a bit. Brings it in with the rest of the winter sports, and just, yeah, it's all skiing, snowboarding, it's all on the snow stuff. You know, everyone's happy to be out there having a good time in winter.
Hey, thanks, man.
With the qualifying for the Olympics and trying to build all of that up, it ends up being a marathon and not a sprint, you know, and you're just trying to get there and ski your best. But I'm really looking forward to the Games. A little injury at the moment, rehabbing from an ACL, so 5 months out of surgery now and back on snow, and looking forward to getting back into performance and heading over there and representing my country.
Adaptive sports at the Winter Games have featured prominently and always provided entertaining action and inspiring character stories. 2017 is no exception.
My start to snowboarding is a very funny one and I think quite a unique one. I grew up in a small rural country town in South Africa and I was very sporty all my life. I always knew that I was going to be a dancer, and when I was about 11 years old, I was involved in a pretty horrific tractor accident, which saw my left leg ripped off. I was told from a very young age that I wouldn't have a full and normal life, that I'd be stuck in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. And it's when you're 11 and you've got like hopes of being the world's best dancer and dance all around the world, someone tells you that you're going to be stuck in a wheelchair. It's pretty devastating. So I decided that I'm going to do whatever I can just to stay healthy and active. And I started doing sport again, got me right back into there. I competed in athletics for about 7 years on the para circuit. And it went incredibly well, but unfortunately I was forced into retirement because of injury, and I just missed out on qualifying for London. So I took some time to regroup, which changed my life because I was getting a high heel leg made for my year 12 formals. So I was running around in ridiculously high heels, squatting, jumping, like making a complete fool of myself. And at the time, I didn't know it, but the Australian Paralympic snowboard coach was sitting in the same office with one of his athletes next to him, and he called me up and he was like, "Hey, sorry, I got your number off, your prosthetist, you're female and legless and you've got really good balance. Do you want to snowboard?" And I had finished school. I wouldn't be able to go back into athletics, and I have a drive to compete and push myself all the time. So I quit my job 3 weeks later and I moved down to the snow and started snowboarding. And it's been quite the adventure ever since.
In a welcome addition to the 2017 Audi Quattro Winter Games, Treble Cone makes its debut as host venue to the Adaptive World Cup Bank Slalom. Treble Cone is world-renowned for its freeride terrain, and the bank slalom course, set within one of its many natural halfpipes, looks like a beauty, with lofty views out over Lake Wanaka. In 2018, the bank slalom event will make its debut at the Paralympic Games in South Korea. For the athletes here at the Audi Quattro Winter Games, the event at Treble Cone is an important opportunity to secure vital qualification points.
It's excellent to be able to have the opportunity to see this IPC banked slalom World Cup event. First of all, Treble Cone is an ideal place to be able to run this event. It's got superb terrain for a bank slalom, as well as actually for training in pretty much all of the snow sport disciplines. But the level of the competition is outstanding. The preparation of the race hill as well, and you see that there's a very much developed team and athlete base here for the IPC events, and they've taken advantage of the excellent training here to be able to stage a world-class event.
This is a timed event. Each rider will have 3 runs and their fastest time will be recorded. Additionally, there are 3 categories for degree of impairment, 2 lower limb impairment categories and 1 upper limb.
In the gate, wearing bib 31, Michael Shea from Big Bear, California. Really talented snowboarder, competing in lower limb 2 category, the lesser of the 2 categories. Oh, a little mistake, as I said, a nice high line, just losing his balance slightly. It's pretty hard pack. Some of the athletes saying some pretty icy between certain gates. Now he's finding his rhythm. High into the gates, trying to carry speed. He's the silver medalist from the Snowboard Cross 2014 Winter Paralympics. And in 2014-15 season, he won the World Bank Slalom Championships. And as he comes into the lower section of the course, as it flattens out, driving towards the finish. And across the line in 1:88. And that makes him the current leader. Carl Murphy with his 3rd run. here at Treble Cone. Absolutely spectacular shots looking down this course. Carl from Wanaka, just down the hill. Talented and confident snowboarder. Looking to podium here and of course at the Paralympic Games in Pyeongchang. And that's good, smooth snowboarding. And he'll be looking to add to a series of titles that he has, including the silver medal from the 2014 Adaptive Snowboard Cross in the X Games. Tight to the gates as he comes into the finish and across the line in 1:01.21. That's good enough for third. Ben Tudhop in course. Second run for him. Setting up early. Good snowboarding. Now, Ben was the youngest athlete from any nation to compete in the 2014 Winter Paralympics in Sochi. Superb pictures here of this banked slalom. And this is nice, smooth snowboarding, high line, carrying speed. Three runs for each athlete, and it's the fastest run that will count. And this is looking pretty good for Ben. Down through the last few gates. Cross the line, and that's 59.28.
Wow, it is amazing. I love the course up there. Just a great day, and I'm feeling it.
In the start gate for his third run, Michael Shea. Nothing to lose. He'll be really going for it and charging this run. Currently the second fastest time, but he will be wanting to get the gold medal here. And this is really good aggressive snowboarding. This young guy from Big Bear, California. Such a character. But he means business, and he's come to New Zealand to win this event. Perfect conditions, the course holding up so well. And across the line in 59 dead. And that is good enough to take the lead by just 0.28 of a second. In the gate, Mike Schultz, USA. This is his first run. And he's competing in the lower limb impaired category 1. And you can see, a little bit tight to that red gate. But as I was saying, you can see his front leg. Now these guys have serious impairment in one or both legs. And that can include amputation above the knee. So it's just incredible to see this level of skill. So as Mike comes down to the lower part of this course, he's carrying good speed. Now this is a guy who has won the most adaptive gold medals in X Games history. He really is quite a star. Great to have him here in New Zealand. And this is really smooth snowboarding as he comes to the bottom of the course. Already 7 gold medals and 1 silver in X Games. Cross the line, 1:07.79.
Oh, it's great. It's a beautiful place up here. It's my first time down here in New Zealand, and Yeah, the views up here on Treble Cone are spectacular, to say the least. And it's our first one of the season, so catching up with all of our buddies from around the world is a lot of fun.
Fantastic pictures here at Treble Cone. Perfect conditions as Noah Elliott drops into the course. Another member of this very strong US ski team. And again, setting up a nice high line into each gate. So important to get high and carry speed through the carve of each turn. And the top part of this course is hard packed, technical, and not easy at all. Now down into the transition, and he's carrying good speed. Looks balanced, looks smooth. Now, what can he do? Last few gates, driving for the line. This looks pretty good to me. What can he do? Oh, no, 1:06.95, and sure enough, that's good enough for first place.
Well, first of all, congratulations. You know, what's it like to win this event?
It feels really good. Definitely a fun event. Being able to see everybody get out there and make turns, it was really cool. So to win is just another plus on the great memories I made here in New Zealand.
Bib number 20, Dachi Oguri from Japan. Drops into the course. Oh, a little bit twitchy, but we can see how steep the start of this course is. Now he's trying desperately to get into his rhythm, but clearly struggling a bit. Touching down a few times, but still carrying pretty impressive speed. Conditions really are perfect here. But it's steep, it's technical, and you've got to carry speed onto the lower section of the course. And across the line in 1:09.32, and that puts him into second place, pushing Mike Schultz back into third. So the upper limbed impaired category, and in the gate, Michael Miner from Colorado, and he certainly looks up for this. Start gates ready. On course. Good aggressive start, really going for it. Now, this is a young man who was first in last season's World Champs Para Snowboard Cross event and second in the bank slalom. Setting up really nice high line into each gate here, down through the technical section. The light just a little flat at the bottom of the course, but across the line 1:08.04, good enough for first place.
It's a pretty world-class field here, so you know, to win here, it's quite an achievement.
It is. It was our first qualifier for the games this year, so great way to start the season, and I couldn't be happier.
On course, Simon Patmore from Jindabyne, Australia, setting up nice and high on these early turns. Now, a little bit of weather has come into the bottom part of the course, so while it's beautiful blue sky on the top section, he will know he's going to drop down, and as the course flattens out towards the finish, it's fairly cloudy. But this is a very experienced competitor, 6th in the 2016-17 World Champs Bank Slalom. And nice and smooth through the middle section of the course, setting up nicely as he comes off into the flatter section. Now you can see the visibility is low. He's got to just ignore that. And across the line in 1:08.66, and that's good enough for second currently. In the gate, Zhu Chen from China. Great pictures here. Treble Cone really has laid it on, both in terms of a superb piste, but also the weather today. A little bit of cloud at the bottom of the course for some of these competitors. Nice smooth skiing from the Chinese athlete. Young member of the strong squad here in New Zealand, and I'm sure he'll be looking forward not only to Pyeongchang but to Beijing, who are hosting the Paralympics in 2022. Into the flat part of the course, and some of the cloud that was hindering athletes just a few runs ago gone. Perfect conditions, cross the line, 109.15, and that is good enough for third place. In the gate, Joni Badenhorst from Australia, born in South Africa, and one of the real characters of this strong Australian team over here. Sets up nicely into the first few gates. Now, this is the first of 3 runs with the best run to count. This is the lower limb 2 impairment category. And as she drops into the lower part of the course, there's a little bit of cloud and mist, which of course makes it tougher for the athletes. But this is nice, smooth snowboarding. Last few gates. Down across the line, and that's a time of 1:10.52, and good enough for first place. Brittany Curry drops onto the course. Third run of 3, nothing to lose, she's got to go for this. Nice and high. This is a good line, good snowboarding. Conditions really are now perfect. It was so hard this morning, but really nice conditions now here at Treble Cone. Into the flatter section of the course, nice and smooth. Trying to keep really tight to the gates. And Brittany across the line in 1:20.68. On course, Cassie Cava, member of the British team who are down here competing. Hometown of Bromley, no less. A couple of good results in the 2016-17 World Champs, both in the snowboard bank slalom and the snowboard cross. And this is nice, smooth snowboarding on the upper and middle sections of this course. And the weather is cleared now on the lower section, which will only help her. Down through the last couple of gates, cross the line, 1:22.11, and that is good enough for second place. The winner of the Women's Bank Slalom Lower Limb 2 impaired category is Joni Badenhorst of Australia. In the men's Lower Limb 2 impaired category, the winner was Michael Shea from Team USA. And in the men's Lower Limb 1 impaired category, the winner was Noah Elliott from the USA. In the men's Upper Limb impaired category, another US victory with Michael Miner taking the gold medal.
There he is. Thanks, madam.
It's amazing. That was the goal today. The greenstone was what today was all about, and I was able to bring it home, so it's super important and super sentimental to me.
Today was definitely challenging, and I think it's the way it should be. The course was in mint condition. The work that went into it was fantastic. All the riders, you know, rode their very best. So the competition was tight, but I think that everyone walked away putting down something that they can be proud of. So we're all very happy.
We've seen guys go from, you know, snowboarding at a high level to snowboarding now almost at a professional level, or able-bodied level. So it's really, really awesome to see the field's grown, and I'm just happy to see my sport be where it is today.